Hey, we're over here. Yeah, here we are. Welcome to Intern TV on location. And I'll tell you what, this virus is getting all of us, but it's not stopping us from filming. We're practicing our social distancing today live from our houses in Wilmington, Delaware, Pennsylvania. We're all over, and we hope that this show can bring you a little bit of normalcy to your life and maybe give you a couple laughs and maybe you'll learn a thing or two. So we're excited to be here filming Intern TV for you. And joining us, as always, is a man who's so sharp they should call him Cheddar, Jeff Wilson, and a man who, if he was a car, he'd be a Porsche 911, Andrew Golden. Gentlemen, how we doing?
I'm good. How are
I'm
you?
doing great.
I know this is obviously not the most ideal time, and we all got pushed online, but it's not stopping us. And how's the whole social distance thing going for you, Jeff?
It's going pretty well. It's been it's been different trying to adjust to it. I will say personally, and from people I've talked to as well, it seems like the workload has increased, but obviously that's gonna be expected because we can't really do any activities in the classroom now, so we're doing everything at home. And I'm also working Monday, Wednesday, Friday for my internship, working remotely. So that's been a little bit challenge. Normally at my internship, I can work on an email or a social post and send it right along to whoever it needs to go to, and then walk down the hall to their office and get their approval on that. But being that we're at home now, I have the not so luxury of waiting for them to respond to an email or give me a phone call back. We do a lot of communication through Microsoft Teams, so it's really delayed the process. And I feel like I'm not getting as much done now through my internship, but it's just kind of something that we're going to have to work with and something we're going to have to adapt to. I know I'm not the only one who had an internship this semester and whose internship has been affected. So, Andrew, I know you were working at LaSalle. How's that going for you? What's the news on that?
So, LaSalle, I got the email, I think it was last week, that there's no one's allowed on campus, obviously, but working under the facilities director, it's a lot of manual labor and you have to be on campus for it. So, my internship got cut short, but hopefully I can still get the credit for it, like I'm sure a lot of other people in the internship workshops are going through right now. But mainly, I let him know, I told him that I would be able to work from home if he had anything for me to do, and he said he'd let me know. So I'm kind of a waiting game for that. But Matt, I know that you were working at the Flyers and you had a Phillies one lined up. Want to talk about that a little?
Yeah, absolutely. So unlike so many other people in sports, I've actually been kind of lucky where the Flyers and Comcast are still paying us, which is really nice. So I'm getting paid for all the Flyers games that I was signed up to work. So that's pretty cool. I got a check the other day for a good amount of $100. So got that for
How
sitting around,
much?
which was nice. It was in the 400 areas, which for a kid that doesn't have income right now is
Nice.
pretty nice. Some nice beer money, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah. So anyway, I've been doing conference calls with them, just trying to figure out what's going to go on with the league and figure out if games are going to come back. If they're not going to come back, hopefully they do. Hopefully this all passes by. But right now, I'm just real lucky that I'm with a great company like the Flyers. And then, yeah, like you said, for the Phillies, I had a gig lined up, a promotions gig lined up for them for their season. But obviously, opening day got pushed back, which is unfortunate. Literally the day everything got suspended was the day before I was going to have orientation there. So that's a little upsetting. I just missed it, but so hopefully everything gets over and we can all get back to normal. And something that because all my internships got pushed off, it's giving me a lot of time to do these online classes, which we all got pushed to here at Newman and basically all across the country. We've been using Zoom and uh, Collaborate, which Newman uses. So I know for me personally, I feel like the teachers are giving us a lot more work. I feel like I've typed a lot more essays in the past week than I've had in my whole life. And I was just wondering, for Jeff, I know that you're still working, and you talked about that a little bit. But What's the work like for you now that you're still doing your internship, but still doing a lot of schoolwork?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I mentioned, I would 100% agree with you. It definitely kind of seems like we've gotten a lot more work, and it's understandable. Like I mentioned, there's no in class time to really work on that now, so it's all obviously going to be homework. Um, it's been tough. It's been tough to adapt and kind of create that schedule. I really I find myself doing homework like on a Saturday night at like 12:30 because my laptop's just sitting there, and I'm like, well, I got stuff I could do, so why not just bang some out. So it's been something to adjust to, been something that we're gonna have to get used to, and I feel it on everybody's side.
Yeah, and basically what you just said there, that you find yourself doing homework at all odd hours. I'm the same way. Last Saturday, I remember I was typing a case study at 1:30 in the morning, which I was like, I never would have done this, but I'm here in my room in my basement, and the laptop's right next to me, so I'm just randomly doing work whenever I feel like it because that temptation is there. And I know me and Andrew are in a couple different classes, and it was someday last week. It was 10:30 at night, and me and him were just knocking out a project. We're like, this is very odd. So I know, Andrew, do you feel yourself doing the same things?
No, yeah, I agree 100% with you guys. I mean, it's a lot of work. It's kind of like a heavy workload, but I mean, I think it's helping a lot of people learn time management. We're going from a schedule where we follow it every day. It's a routine, and now we're at home, and all we have to do is log into class. But then we have to do the homework, and we have to manage 5 or 6 classes in a week to get the work done. So I think it's really helping with time management and how to build a good schedule.
Yeah, which is that basically talking about a schedule is something that we obviously need to learn to do. And I think for us college students, it's actually preparing us more for life because we need to learn how to plan. We need to learn how to think ahead because none of us expected this to happen. And for me personally, I know I've started working on setting up an emergency fund for me for if one day something did happen, or if God forbid something worse than this where I wouldn't be able to go to work. So I think building a schedule is something I need to do, or times to get up because my sleep schedule is an absolute mess. And but yeah, schedule is
Right.
something huge that I think this is teaching us.
Yeah, yeah. I think touching on the sleep schedule is huge. I'm sure you guys probably feel the same way. I've seen 4 a.m. come across my phone many a times during this pandemic where we've had to be at home. So kind of being able to create a schedule is not coming easily. And not that I necessarily thought it would come easily, but it's been tough. But the luxury of being home and working is, I have to be on the clock by 9 a.m. So I roll out of bed at like 8:45, 8:50. Some days I roll out of bed at 9 a.m. So I have that
No
luxury of just
makeup
being able to
needed.
just, roll out of,
Right.
yeah, just no makeup needed, all natural, roll out of bed, grab my laptop, get signed on for the day. So, it's been interesting. Andrew, how's the schedule creation going for you?
Oh, I struggle. I'm not gonna lie. I struggled probably the first week at trying to get the right schedule. I found myself trying to knock out assignments like crazy, and then I was staying up late. But now I feel like I figured it out. I feel like you got to get up early in order to go to bed earlier than you want. So, I mean, my sleep schedule's all right. But I do actually have a question for the both of you. Um, how do you guys have any like tips for the audience or myself on how to like schedule? Because I mean, it can be a challenging task to be faced with, and I mean, I know I struggled to figure it out. And I think I got a pretty good one. But are you guys doing anything different to try and fix up a good schedule?
Yeah, I guess I'll hit that one. Like I kind of said, my sleep schedule was a mess. Like Jeff said, I've seen an hour 4 a.m. more in the last 2 weeks than I've seen in my entire life. And me and Jeff have actually kind of started a habit where around 3:30, 4 o'clock when we're up, we just snap at each other and say, "Hey, you're still here." So got that little thing going on. But for me, my Tuesday Thursday class doesn't do a Zoom session. So we're just gives us assignments and we have to do so. At the base of things, I am a 21-year-old kid, so I'm not going to bed at 9:30, 10 on normal days. So I'm building myself into mode where Monday, Wednesday, Friday I can stay up real late, and then when I do have to get on my Zoom classes for those days, Tuesday, Thursday, I try to force myself to go to sleep a little bit earlier. So we're working on that. It takes a while to nail down a sleep schedule, but we're getting there. I think I got up around noon today, which wasn't too bad. I've been trying to day trade just to keep myself busy, so I missed the opening bell, but that's all
Yeah.
that's all right. But yeah, I did well yesterday. Today the markets are a little down, so I'm glad I'm not looking at the portfolio right now. But definitely getting a schedule, getting a schedule there. So I don't know, Jeff, how's it going for you?
Yeah. I mean, like you mentioned, it's going to take time to create that schedule. We're what 2 weeks into this now, and I'm starting to somewhat solidify a schedule. Obviously, I know Mondays and Fridays I work 9 to 5. So I have to be on my computer from 9 to 5. Um, so, you know, I have that part built into my schedule. I know Wednesdays I have to be up to work at 9 a.m. Tuesday, Thursday I have my Zoom classes. So I'm just kind of building it piece by piece. What's always going to happen. Like those days that I have concrete things locked in, and then from there I just kind of try and look at due dates and see where my free time is and pencil in some things as I go. And I think pencil is a key term there because the schedule is going to adjust based on we're home now, so there's obviously other people in our house, and some things aren't going to go as smooth as you want to. So you just kind of got to make adjustments and go from there.
Yeah, so to kind of piggyback off that, I know for us students at Newman, we need 150 hours to complete an internship. Jeff, do you and Andrew too, because your LaSalle thing got pushed. Have you heard anything about how hours are getting affected, or did that get waived, or are you still counting your hours? How's the whole requirement going for you?
Well, as of right now, I got an email from the internship workshop teachers, Professor Lanzillo and Professor Mezzi. They said they were working on it and seeing what it was. I haven't heard anything yet from it, but I mean, I'm hoping that they end up getting waived. What about you, Jeff? You hear anything? Oh, what about you, Matt? You had an internship too. Did you
Ah,
hear anything about it?
well, I had the great fortune of me being a nerd my first 3 years at Newman, so I already had my credited internships knocked out. So I've just been
There
doing them
you
for
go.
not credit, but I guess I assume they would count. Obviously, for my internships, I did a lot of did a lot did a
Hmm.
lot of hours. So some of them I didn't necessarily log, which probably shouldn't be admitting, but I think the statute of limitations are gone for that. So
Better hope
I mean,
so.
I assume that hopefully, yeah, I'll be losing credits. I
Yeah.
just made my schedule too for next semester, so hopefully, but I know something is. We obviously have a lot of downtime being stuck in our houses, and I know I've been playing some video games, and I mentioned how I've been trying to day trade. What are you doing? Anything specific, Andrew, to keep yourself entertained?
Man, honestly, I've just been watching TV shows, man. Netflix. That's the only thing really that's I can watch to keep me entertained. I'm not in the stock market like you, but maybe I'll dabble in it since you're over here day trading. Maybe I'll join you.
Hey, hey, no, hit me up. Don't worry, I'll give you some good rates. I'll help you trade a little bit.
But I was gonna say something. I forget what I was gonna say, but it was
Hey,
on
no
the
problem. I
fact
know
of
something else. I know your sports betting got kicked away, so that's probably upsetting you a little
I
bit.
know, man. Yeah, I mean, listen, everybody just social distance yourself. Let's get through this thing and let's get back to gambling after that. Right now,
So anyway,
we got to do our part.
yeah, eventually. But I know something. I guess to get back to it is we're in a lot of our classes together. Um,
Hmm.
have you? A couple of our assignments got graded. Have you found that different teachers are maybe grading easier or giving you better assignments, just to see if we're on the same wavelength here?
Well, it's not the fact that I think they're going easier on us. I think it's more the fact that they understand that every teacher is giving us work, and they feel that they know how much stress we're under during this time, and they want to see us all succeed. So I feel like if they give us a good grade, they'll give us more criticism to how we can better ourselves. Does that make sense?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, just kind of to touch on the question that Matt just had. I would agree that teachers do seem to be grading a little easier, obviously, because they're understanding they're humans too. They're adapting to this, having to work from home, everything, technology problems, this, that, and the fourth, everything that can happen. So I think they will, be grading a little easier. Obviously, trying to side with the students, and but at the same time, they're not gonna just let you, walk into 100 on an assignment. Like you still have to put in the work and still put into the effort.
Yeah, of course. And
Right.
Jeff, I don't think we hit on you. What are you doing to keep yourself entertained when you have some downtime? I know you don't have a lot, but have you found anything to keep you busy?
Yeah, I've just been trying to knock out some assignments, some homework, and in my free time, playing some video games, scrolling through LinkedIn, still building the network from home because can't really ever afford to take a day off because if you take a day off, the people you're competing with in the day off.
Yeah, so actually, you just got my mind racing when you brought up LinkedIn. This is actually a pretty unprecedented time where so many people aren't working. So I've been going on LinkedIn and I've been just mass sending out things to do informational interviews with people, just trying to connect on LinkedIn. And I know for me, I've done 4 of them so far. Is that something that you're doing, or that's really something everyone could be and should be doing right now? Is going on LinkedIn and looking up people at a working place where they want to work and trying to reach out to them and do an informational interview.
Yeah. The thing I forgot, it was talking about LinkedIn and stuff. It was going to be this is a great time for us to do some research, or for anyone, even the audience, to look up, do some research on what you're pursuing, and find someone to interview, get to know more about it. You might not be able to leave and go meet them in person, but a phone interview will do just fine.
Yeah, because I know for me, 3 out of my summer internships came from doing informational interviews. So that's now that we're getting closer to graduation, I'm trying to separate it more from I'm trying to learn to, hey, I give me a job. So I've been
Right,
rolling in
right,
them, and I really think it's beneficial. I know for us as sport management students, we're required to do them for our intro classes and our beginning classes. So just having those skills that we learned from there, and now reaching out to people that work for different organizations and agencies, and like it's no secret, I could pray that I could work in NASCAR one day. So I've just been hammering race teams, just trying to knock out those interviews. So it's really this is really a great time to get on LinkedIn and build your network.
right. I agree.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree with what you guys are saying. For me personally, the hunt's always on for that next opportunity, that next internship. It's kind of what can I do now? What can I do to build my resume and get my foot in the door with wherever I see myself and try to get that advantage. So I've definitely been reaching out, trying to speak to some people in the industry. I'd like to ideally nail down an internship for the fall because I have one lined up right now for the summer, but that's kind of up in the air with everything that's going on right now. But I mean, we'll see where we get with this, and I think every day I'm just gonna continue to try and build my network through LinkedIn and Twitter and everything.
Yeah, and obviously, yeah, what you said is really huge, and we have a special little visitor on the line. One of our second guest on the show ever, and one of our guys helps produce us is Jake Lowbrook. I know you're in there. How's this affecting you?
Yeah, what's going on, guys? How we
Surprise.
doing?
Uh,
Great. Good to see your face
How we
again.
doing?
Yeah, good to see you guys, man. It's fun to be back on the show with you guys. It's been a couple of weeks since my episode debuted, but I love out there being in the back room producing it with you guys, and I love being able to help out.
So Jake, what's this? How's this whole social distance thing affecting you in terms of what you got going on in your life?
Yeah, I mean, I think we'd all love to be back at school and be back with Newman and our buddies, but um, for me personally, I was in the application process with NBC Sports Philadelphia, so obviously that's halted right now. I was looking for a summer internship with them. So as of right now, there's nothing really too pressing going on in my life. Just staying, with my classwork and making sure I'm getting the job done. What's been really cool, Xavier Canis and I have been doing an esports podcast. We just started an esports podcast, so we've been interviewing different members of the Newman esports team, and getting what goes on in esports and how to join the team if interested and such. So that's been we've done 3 episodes thus far, putting out a third one or fourth one later this week.
Yeah, that sounds, that's very interesting to hear that, you guys are doing that podcast, covering esports. I wanted to touch back on what you were saying. You were currently in the application process for MS. Like I've mentioned to you before, when we had BC Sports, so I mean, I know some people. So, like I said to you before, you tell me where you're applying, and I'll see what I can do to get your name in there for you.
Hey, what a
Awesome, I
guy!
appreciate that. Hey, networking never stops. I'm gonna give you a virtual handshake. I'm Jake Lobrecht. Pleasure to meet you.
So Jake, I know you plugged the esports a little bit. What kind of games are they
Yeah.
playing, or if you call them games, or if I offended you for calling it a game, just esports.
Well,
What you got going on? Plug it a
I'm
little
actually
bit
not on.
more.
Yeah, I'm actually not on the esports team, but Xavier and I, we've just been, plugging the team. They do Fortnite, they do Super Smash Bros. They
Oh
currently
boy.
have an NBA 2K20 tournament going on. I think registration ended a couple of days ago. Not 100% sure on that. But like I said, yeah, Xavier and I, we host the podcast called I Can't Compete because Xavier and I very much so cannot compete with the esports team. So that's where we got the name from. But beyond that, we've been working on that, getting the esports team to be better known on campus, and they've increased their members over the past few years since becoming a new club, I think 2 years ago. But it's been awesome to hear, from Duncan, the team president, and to hear from Luke, the captain of the Fortnite team. And it's just been great to, kind of get to know those guys because before, like I've talked to Luke a little bit, but I've never even met Duncan, and it was awesome just to kind of to talk to him we did a 40-minute podcast with him. I've never even met the guy, so he's such a great kid, such a great awesome guy to get to know. So it was awesome to be able to host him on the podcast. But beyond that, with Newman Media, we've still been trucking on with production. As we're putting on Intern TV today, and WNUW, it's a radio station. We're still putting content out as much as we can. Right now we're doing Coronacast we're calling it Coronacast, and it's sort of a podcast where you give us a little update of how's the coronavirus affecting you. Is it, most of us have been put online with schooling and with work. We had one caller call in and tell us that, I think I forget his position, but in the middle of the Coronacast, he's like, yeah, and then I got laid off. So, the coronavirus is affecting all of us. And for this gentleman, he lost his job. Some of us are more fortunate than others to be working online, but we're getting to hear a lot of different stories about these individuals and how the coronavirus is affecting them more so than just I get to stay home now. So it's been really neat to get to hear from people who are students, from faculty, from just community members. We've had quite a few people from Philly call in. One of the communication professors, Dr. Yanis Chakars, he lives in Philadelphia, and he had one of his neighbors call in, and it's just so unique to hear these different perspectives, and we're capturing it all on 98.5 WNUW, and it's archived on our Instagram. So check out the Newman Media Instagram to kind of get informed with them.
And I know this the whole Coronacast is, like you said, it's really grown, and it's something that I look forward and look at every day. I know Eric Masson, he's one of my hockey buddies. He put one out yesterday in his Minnesota accent, how's it going? But so that was entertaining. I know you
How's it
made one of
going, eh?
those. So how's it going up in Minnesota? But but I know you did one of those play-by-play Coronacast, and it was pretty interesting. You wanna elaborate on it a little bit?
Yeah, so I did two thus far. My first one was more so focusing on uh, being positive and turning this situation. We're all living through the coronavirus right now. It's very much so a different scenario. So I was saying, how can you be more positive? How can you take this scenario that you're in and make it to be your benefit? For me personally, I was playing a sport on campus. I was working. I have 5 classes this semester. So, I was burning the candle at both ends. And so this time period, the month of March was like really stressful for me in terms of classwork. So the coronavirus obviously, excuse me, pushes us off campus, but to me, it kind of gave me some of that time back, because more often than not, something in my schedule is being sacrificed, usually sleep. And so I've been able to, kind of catch some Z's, as they say. Um,
Right.
so that was my first one, talking about being positive and making the most out of the situation. My second one, I put a little spin to it. My mom was making this past weekend. She was making pancakes on Saturday morning, and I wanted to do one, so I did play-by-play commentary on my mom making pancakes. Um, they say sports are dead, but they're not. You got to make sports your own thing. And so my mom battled it out against a box of pancake mix. I did an
Did she
intro. We
win?
had our own little theme song going. She did win. She won 6-2.
Let's
Unfortunately,
go.
the pancake
Nice.
the pancake mix did knock 2 runs on her. But nonetheless, she did come out with a dub. And I got another one in production right now. She was making cupcakes this morning, actually. And
It's big.
yeah. So I can't
Chocolate or
reveal anything
vanilla?
because that one has not aired yet. It
Mm,
was chocolate, yes, chocolate
solid.
with
That's the
vanilla
best
cream cheese
kind.
icing.
Oh,
Oh,
So
stop
I
it.
can't
big
reveal
fan of
any
cream
more
cheese icing.
information. Oh yeah, with some colored decorettes on top. They're not sprinkles, they're not
Mm.
jimmies, they're
Nice.
colored decorettes.
That's great.
Nice.
You gotta
Were
give
they
me one.
buttermilk
Fun.
pancakes or like Bisquick? Bisquick. What kind of pancakes were they?
Um, so we usually use Aunt Jemima pancake mix, and this time she got log cabin pancake
Ooh.
mix, and
Mixing her up a
they were
little, huh?
good, but it did throw me off. It did throw me for a loop.
That's probably what
But
knocked
I
in the
used
2 runs.
no, well, the first run, she messed up the flip, and then the first run
Oh,
she couldn't crack one of the eggs, and then the second run came because she failed on the flip of the pancakes. So yeah, we had to knock her there.
okay, that's all right.
Um,
That's why you have next week, But it was still
exactly,
a
and
win.
unfortunately, the episode did go through a rain delay too. So that's what ended up halting the competition.
Yeah.
So,
It,
Jake,
it
while
turns
we
out it
got
was
you
just our
here.
sprinkler system, though. It's okay.
Oh, we're good. So while we got you here, I just
Yeah.
wanted to reach out to you and ask you this question. What advice can you give people out there? Because, we touched on it, we gave our advice. What advice can you give to, all the fellow Newman students, but also all the students out there in general? Because, obviously everybody's going online. So what advice can you give to people to try and, help them kind of find some sort of stabilization through this tough period?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is to really stay positive about the whole situation and just be hopeful that we're gonna get through it sooner than later. Beyond that, what's really helped me is kind of sticking to a routine. So, um, eh, when I usually play video games at night with some buddies, so that's been cool because still getting to communicate with some of my roommates and some of my other friends from campus. Just instead of texting or calling, we're chatting, playing Fortnite or the new Warzone or whatever. Um, But beyond that, sticking to a routine, I usually go to bed by midnight, between midnight and 2 a.m. And I always get up before 9:30, just because that's typically the time I'd have to be up on campus to be at work or to be in class. So I've tried to stick to that routine, so I'm not sleeping in too late and wasting most of my day, and then forgetting about classwork. And I think what's been really cool is every day I have at least one online class where I have to meet up and go into Blackboard Collaborate and make sure that I'm logging in, doing my work for those classes. So that's what has really kept me knowledgeable of days and times, because instead of waking up whenever I want and doing class work throughout the day, I have to be in class at 2:40 on Tuesday, Thursdays, and 12:40 on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So it kind of has helped me stick with that routine of, let's get up early, let's do a little schoolwork, do what I need to do, and then get into class.
Yeah, absolutely. That's beautiful. Beautiful. Well said, Jake. But
Thanks, buddy.
one
I
more quick
appreciate it.
thing. One more quick thing to hit on you with your podcast called We Can't Compete. Jeff,
Yeah.
Andrew, and I, we run the fort, play some Fortnite often, and we're not
Oh, you guys should add
we're
me.
decent, but we're not the best. But we
We're
definitely
great.
can't compete. We it always
You're
gets to the
legends.
point where 4 or 5 games in, Andrew's like, "This sucks. This game's making me mad," and I'm like, "Yeah, I hate this." And then we're screaming when we die.
Listen,
Uh,
gaming gets me angry sometimes.
Oh, me too, man.
No, Jake, where's
Hey,
your
I got
go-to
2
landing
comments.
spot? Yeah.
Oh, I'm a big sweaty guy. Big sweaty. What's it?
Oh,
Sweaty
Sweaty
salt.
Sands?
Sweaty sands.
That's our place.
I think I might have lost you there for a minute, guys. Hey, Dop. Hey, to answer your question, Matt, I'm a big sweaty sands guy. That's where I like to. That's where I like to land. In not the one building on like the east side, the tower. I'm up like the little living area toward like past the beach. That's where I like to land. If that makes any sense. I don't have the map in front of me, so I can't give you exact location and direction.
Yeah,
but
I got you.
um,
I got you.
But hey, if you guys ever want to be on the podcast, you let me know, because Xavier and I, we can't compete with the Fortnite esports team, and you guys said you can't, so we're gonna bounce, do a little networking here. If you guys want to be on the podcast, you let me know. I can make that happen. I know the host.
I love
Hey.
it.
Listen, we're always down.
Hey, we'll be in touch.
Awesome. And hey, one more thing before about the podcast. I lost it. We're doing some commentary on the community game nights. So this Thursday or Friday, I believe, the esports team is hosting a community game night for Fortnite. So you guys should definitely join it. Log in. An email went out from Dave Deal. You can also contact Duncan or Luke Morrow. They could have more information for you. But if you guys want to play in the community game night for Fortnite, it's this Thursday or Friday starting at 7 p.m. And add me. My gamer tag is tinted_barbecue, and we'll get a squad
Oh
rolling.
boy. Is there a trophy for
Look for
last
a silent
place?
onion.
For last place, I don't believe so, but everyone gets a participation medal.
Nice.
Classic. We love it. Well, thank you, Jake.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me on, guys.
Of course.
Well, since this is Intern TV, we got to get to our one of our most popular segments, Quick Six. And today we're going to be grilling our main producer. So I hope he's ready to go. Sean, are you there?
I can't believe I agreed
Oh,
to do
boy.
this.
There he is.
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Yes.
All right. So what order you want to
just
do
so
this
people
in?
understand real quick. Real quick. So we could go in the order. Jake, why don't you jump in on the quick 6 and we make this be, the quick 8.
Love it.
Okay.
So,
I just
Are
want
we
people
each
to
doing
understand what's been happening here. Yeah, you'll each do 2. Round robin it.
all right.
So we'll go Dop,
Cool.
Jake, Andrew, Jeff.
Cool.
What people should need to know is that, we're not just like doing a Skype call or a Zoom call. Like, this is real TV that we're doing right now. And I've been like in the background pushing all the buttons. This is crazy. Like, we've never done an actual show this way fully. And we're 35 minutes in. I'm in the control room, quote unquote, and able to talk to you guys this way. Like, this is nuts. I just want you to know how awesome this is and how proud of you I am. But this is crazy.
Yeah, it just
Hey,
shows how
Sean.
awesome Newman Media is.
No, this is great.
We
Sean,
try.
I'm proud of
I
you,
love
buddy.
doing it this way.
So, all right, you
All
ready
right,
to get grilled then?
let's go. I'm ready.
All right. So I guess I'll count myself down then. 500, 499, 498, 497, 3, 2, 1. If you could drive any car from any point in history, what would you drive?
Oh God, Model T, just because it's the first.
Honey mustard or barbecue sauce?
Barbecue.
Would you rather have a superpower of being invisible or flying?
I'm scared of heights, so invisible.
You're stranded on an island. What 3 things do you have with you?
A cell phone, a charger, and my family.
What is your favorite type of wood to make a table out of?
Oak.
What are your go-to dress socks?
They're always crazy. Usually something Star Wars related.
What do you like more,
Solid.
Star Wars or Newman Media?
Mm,
Oh.
Newman Media, they pay me.
Ooh.
Good answer.
Good answer. Good answer.
when you're on a plane, are you a window seat or an edge, like by the aisle seat kind of guy?
Window seat, except on those plane rides where I have to pee and I wish I was on the aisle.
Hey, can't argue with that.
All right, I'm getting out of
Beautiful.
here.
What
I don't like being on TV. I'm going back to the control room.
Look at that. First ever quick 8. Thank you guys. That was beautiful. Well, I guess that's it then. So another episode down, a little different. Now we're not in studio, but you know what? It was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. We just gotta say special shout out to our producer Sean, who you just saw. He's been in the trenches behind the scenes doing a lot of work, putting this all together. Same with Jake.
Sounds
Thank you,
strong.
Jake, for hopping in, talking a little
Hey,
bit.
thanks for having
You got a
me.
lot going on. I know you're working probably harder now than ever, even though you got downtime. So it is great
That's
to
for
see,
sure.
and it's amazing the power of technology that we were still able to do that. I know I'm in my basement in Mountaintop, Pennsylvania, and I know Jeff's 100 miles away in Delaware, and Andrew's in Springford and whatever room he's in, and Sean's in his house. So it still blows my mind how we can do this being so far away in different houses. So, that's great. Shout out to technology. Whoever invented a computer, good for you. Thank you. And we want to thank our fans. We hope that you're all staying safe, happy, and healthy. We know this is a tough time. It could get a little boring staying at home, and we miss our friends and miss our lives. But it's for the better. We're all being superheroes of society by staying inside. And guys, you got any last words, Jeff or Andrew?
Yeah, just 2 things. Wash your hands and stay inside. It sucks, but your sacrifice is going to save someone else.
That's it. Stay inside, protect yourself and your family, and let's get through this.
Absolutely. So I guess we'll go off on a nice little virtual wave. So thank you, fans. We appreciate it. And we will see you next time. Thank you.